Yes, welcome to class 3. We are gradually moving on in the class, and I'm happy that at least I'm sure most of you are actually following. And please, I said it that if you have any question or you are not clear about any of the classes taken earlier, please feel free to just send a message to me or on the group chat that has been created already, so that we can flow along in the class and then nobody is left behind. Yes, thank you. Now, today we are going to be talking about a very important topic in music that has to do with the music stave. Now, everything we do in music, we have something like we call the tablet, in which everything is being imputed in music. Yes, and that has to do with the music stave. The music stave has to do with the 5 lines and 4 spaces where we put every music note in music. Yes, there's one between stave and staff, so that when I'm using these two words, you understand. When you see stave like this, I'm talking about the plural. But when you see staff, is the singular. So when I'm talking about ones, we have two major stave, the treble and the bass stave. You understand? But when I'm talking about treble staff alone, that means I'm going to be using plural. That means singular. That's the staff. But when I'm combining the two, I'm going to be using stave. So they mean the same thing, but just the singular and the plural version of the stave. So we are going to understand this. It's just the table or the lines and space where we impute our notes in music. Yes. Yes. Before we talk about the stave or the staff, we need to take note of this particular symbols, which is the treble and bass clef. The treble and the bass clef. I'm sure you are familiar with this diagram. I'm sure you are used to seeing this diagram around. People normally use this to depict music. It's actually not music per se. It's called the treble clef or the G clef. Treble clef or the G clef. I will explain later why it's called the G clef to us. It's called the treble clef or the G clef. Yes, the essence of this is that to show that if you have a staff, the 5 lines and 4 spaces, and this is on the staff, it will automatically convert the staff to a treble staff, which tells you that this staff is meant for treble singers. This is meant for treble and alto singer, because on treble staff, alto also share on treble staff. So it tells you that this staff is actually meant for treble singers alone and alto singer. Then when you see this tells you that this is a bass staff, and then bass clef. But when it's on a staff, it tells you that this is a bass staff now, which is meant for tenor and bass singer. They both share this staff also. Do we understand that now? Now look at this. Some people might be wondering, how do I go about drawing this? It's very simple. Look at my diagram here. Although I'm going to be using the mouse, but just have an idea. You go up like this, then take it down, then twist it like you want to write 8, then twist it, then bring it straight down, and then you curve it. Can you see? Let me try another one. Take it down, twist it, then you bring it down. Sorry, that was bent. To the side, twist it, then bring it down, then curve. You understand? So that's how to draw the treble clef. This is the treble clef. So anytime you are seeing this, some people say it's just music sign. It's called the treble clef. I hope you understand. So that is that. So let's continue our class. So we have the treble clef, like I've explained, and the bass clef. So please don't forget, because we're still going to get to the point where we are going to be making use of the two. Now let's go to the music staff itself. The staff comprises of 5 horizontal lines and 4 spaces where all music notations are written. 5 horizontal lines, 1 2 3 4 5, and 4 spaces, 1 2 3 4, 4 spaces where all music notations are written. Each of these lines and space has a unique alphabetical name. We talked about the alphabet of music, the first class. I said A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Those are the 7 alphabet of music. So those are these alphabetical names that are being shared by these lines and space. Now, I need to emphasize it that the lines and space has a fixed alphabetical name. At any point you should be sure that that is the name of that alphabet, of that lines, or of that space. You understand me? The treble stave has its own unique name, while the bass stave also has its own unique name and alphabets and alphabetical arrangement. So let's look at the treble staff now. Now this is the staff. Let's start from here. Let's even remove the treble clef, this treble clef off it. This is called the staff without the treble clef. Now when you have a treble clef on this staff, it now tells you that this staff is now for the treble singers. You understand me? Treble and alto singers. Then we now call this staff now treble staff. Let me repeat myself. Ordinarily, this is a staff which comprises of 5 lines and 4 spaces. Ordinarily, this is a staff. It comprises 5 lines and 4 spaces. This is a clef, which is called a treble clef. You understand me? But when you now bring this treble clef on this staff, then we are referring to this staff now as treble staff. It tells us that this staff is now meant for treble singers and alto singers. Do you understand? It also applies to the bass staff also. It applies to it. When we get there, we are going to explain that better. Now this staff has a unique lines alphabetical name for the lines and space. Now look at this. Just take note that the first line of the treble staff is line E. The first line of the treble staff is line E, which you can see here. Now after E you have F, which is the space. Can you see F on the space? Then after that you have G on the line, A, B, C, D, E, F, which is on the line. Do you understand? That's the arrangement of the lines and space and the alphabetical name. Now look at it here. We have for the lines we have E, G, B, D, F, and for the space we have F, A, C, E. So for you to remember, we have an acronym we normally use, which is every good boy deserves Fanta. That's for the line. So every good boy deserves Fanta. So if I'm looking for the third line of the treble staff, I can say every good boy. Okay, that means that line is line B. Please don't make a mistake of calling line B line boy. You understand? It's not boy. We're just using this one as a way of reminding ourselves. Okay, if I say, if you look for the second line for me, don't say good line good. No, it's just line G. This one is just for you to actually understand, remember easily the lines and space. Or better still, once you remember that this first line is line E, then you can just trace it up. Go to line, the next space, F, G, A. Don't forget when you get to G, you don't have H in music. You go back to A. So A, B, C, D, E, F, and so on. So it's a repetition of itself. Now look at the space. You can just call the space face. You understand me? F, A, C, E. So face. If I'm looking for the second space of the treble stave, I can just say F, A. So that means A is the name of the second space of the treble stave. Now I said before that this treble clef is called G clef. You understand? I said that this treble clef is also called G clef. The reason why it's called G clef is because it starts, the origin of this G clef, when you want to draw the G clef, the treble clef, it must start from the G line, the second line, that is the line G. You understand me? That's where you start drawing your treble clef, and that's why we refer to it as the G clef. Let me show you something here. Let me assume this my line and my space. My 5 lines and 4 spaces. Let me just draw something like that here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is my 5 lines and 4 spaces. If I now want to draw my treble stave on this, treble clef on this, what I'm going to do now, I'll start from this second line, which is the line G. So I'll go up, bring it down, twist it, and then bring it down like this. Do we understand? So that's the G clef. Let me do it again. You go up, bring it down. I'm sorry. You go up, bring it down, let it go up, twist it, and then you bring it down. So it starts from line G. That's why we always call it the treble stave, because this is our line G. You know, this line E, this space F, this line G. So that's why we always call it the G clef or the treble clef. I hope you understand that now. So that's the reason for calling it G clef, because you start from G to draw the lines and space. So let's move on. Let's go to the bass staff now. Now the bass staff, just like I explained for the treble staff, is the same thing. The bass staff is just a staff on its own, but when we have the bass clef on it, it's automatically turned to the bass staff. That tells you that this space is actually the space for the bass and the tenor singers. You understand me? So when you see that there, now it has its own unique alphabet too. The first line of the bass staff is G. Don't forget, the first line of treble staff is E. The treble staff is E, but for the bass staff, the first line is G. We are still going to be explaining further when we get to the great stave, the reason why we have this alphabet. There's a there's a reason behind having this alphabet like this. You understand? So now this is G. The first line is G. Then that means the next space will be A. Don't forget, after G we go back to A. A, then B, C, D, E, F, G, A. Can you see we went back to A again? Please, you must not omit any space. Every line and space in music counts. So you must not omit any of those lines and space. So this is the line G, then space A, line B, space C, line D, space E, and so on. So that is how we're able to arrive at our bass stave, the bass stave, yes. Now, for you to also remember, we can use this simple acronym: Good Boys Deserves Fanta Always. Good, GBDFA. Good Boys Deserves Fanta Always. Then for the space, all cows eat grass. ACEG. All cows eat grass. So you can just memorize and put that to heart, so that anytime you are saying something like this, you can be able to really understand. But what I normally do is that I just have it at the back of my mind. What is the first alphabet of, what's the first line of the bass stave? I know the first line is G. The first line of the treble stave is E. So what I just do is that I just move from there. Okay, from E, I know it's F, G, A, B, C, and so on. And then also for the bass stave, I know it's G, from G, A, B, C, and so on. I believe you understand that. So we'll be able to talk about the staff. That's the individual 5 lines and 4 space, where we either have the treble staff or the bass staff. You understand me? And we have said that the reason why we have this kind of staff called the treble staff is when we have the treble clef on it, it automatically turns it to the treble staff, because it shows that this staff must be used. I mean, the note on this staff is meant for the treble singers. And then we have the bass staff also, which tells you that the note on this staff must be used by the bass singers. Do we understand that now? Okay, so now let's move to, yes, the great stave. The great stave. Now, the great stave has to do with the combination of the treble staff and the bass staff put together. When this is done, we call it the great stave or the grand stave. The combination of the two put together is now called the great stave or the grand stave. This is the standard music stave where songs are written in music notation. You understand me? Now look at this diagram here. We now have a combination of the 5 lines and 4 space for the treble stave and the bass stave put together. So this is the standard standard stave that comprises of the treble and bass stave. So anybody that sees this note, any treble singer that sees this, should actually be looking for his or her note around here. All the notes that you'll be singing will be around here. Treble and alto singer. Then any bass and tenor singer should be looking for his or their own notes around this place, or this place like this, because this tells you that this is your own stave or your own staff. While treble and alto, this tells you that this is your own staff. Do we understand? Can you see that the treble clef starts from the G line, that is the second line for the drawing. Then this was also called F clef, bass clef or F clef. The reason why is we call it F clef because it starts from the F line. Let me go up. Look at it. It starts from the F line. Can you see the drawing? And then that's where you must start your drawing. It looks like question mark, and then you now put column behind it. You understand me? It starts from the F line. Now we call it F clef. Then for the treble, we call it G clef because it starts from the G line, the second line here. I believe you understand. So these are the diagram and then the labeling of the gray stave. We call this brace. This actually holds the two staves together. You understand? We call it the brace that hold this. Now the stave is actually divided into equal parts by something we call bar lines. If you have a complete music note, you will see that these bar lines keep repeating itself, but it is equal part. Now from this bar line to this bar line, that's the measure. We have equal measure. You understand me? If I want to use layman's term, I would have said maybe they have maybe 2 centimeters in between themselves. You understand me? But they have, we call it measure between this bar line and this bar line. They call it the measure. That means you have equal measure. Some measure has to be 4 beats. When we have to do it, 4 crotchet in a bar time signature, we are going to get there. But just note that that's the bar line. It divides the stave into equal parts. Then this is the double bar line. The double bar line tells you that this song has ended, or this song, there are so many reasons why you are going to have a double bar line, but most of the time it always ends a particular stave, and that's why you see the double bar line here. And then we have the treble clef, the bass clef. I believe we understand this. So let's go into a more practical aspect of the gray stave. Now let's read up. The gray stave, which is the combination of the treble and bass stave together, has alphabets that binds them together. These alphabets are linked together and arranged simultaneously according to the lines and space. This can be seen below. Now look at the gray stave here. We also have, just like we have explained, this is the gray diagram of the gray stave, combination of the treble and the bass stave. Now I want to explain how we come about the diagrams, and then understanding how we can walk around the alphabets. Now on the gray stave, there's this imaginary line in the middle of the gray stave. You will not see this line. Please take note of this. You will not see this line in a standard music. It's an imaginary line. You just imagine that the line is there, and we call the line middle C. Middle C is an imaginary line. It will not be in any of your music notes or music score, but you just imagine that the line is there. Now what does this line do? Because we have this principle of lines and space in music. Lines and space principle must be followed. Now if you look at this is the first line of treble stave E, and then another line A here, and we have space in between them. There should be a line to make our lines and space continue, for continuity. So we should have a line, then space B, then line C, then space D, then line E, to make this complete. Now if we start from the bottom here, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, and we got here, we want to link the treble stave because it's a continuous kind of arrangement. So I'm on A here. If I want to go to the next space, which is here, that would be space B. Then I need a line to make that lines and space arrangement continuous. I need the line, but there's no line between this and this E, so this space B. So that's why we now come about this imaginary line called the middle C, which you will not see in any note. So it's imaginary, but you assume that the line is there. So after space B, we now have line C, A, B, C. You understand me? Line C. After the line C, we now have space D. Don't forget we are going up A, B, C, D. You understand me? So it's not any principle, but just the normal alphabetical arrangement that we are having. So line A here, then space B, line C here, then space D, then line E. Do you understand? So we can now continue our line, space F, line G, space A, line B, space C, line D, space E, line F. I hope you understand that. Let me repeat myself about this. This is the gray stave, and there are alphabetical names of this stave. This stave must follow the principle of lines and space. We don't joke with lines and space. Anywhere, in fact, notes can be up here. It can be continuous. Even from this place, it can be continuous up to any height or to any depth. But you must follow the principle of lines and space. You must not say space, space. It must be space, line, or line, space, as the case may be. But look at this place. If I want to continue this song from the bass stave to the treble stave, and I have a line A here, this space will be space B. this space will be space B. Then there's no line between B and then this E. So that's how they come about this imaginary line, which is line middle C. So we can say line A space B, line C, that's the middle C, then space D, then now line E, then space F, G, and so on. I believe you all understand this now. Now note that this is actually the fixed name of the stave, these lines and space. These are their fixed name. No matter the kind of song you are singing, no matter the kind of music, no matter what, once it's a music form like this, it's a fixed name. Now you might be asking me, what's the essence of the alphabet? Now if you are used to music very well, you know that sometimes they will say the key of a song is on key F, they say key of a song is on key G, and so on. Those people that are used to maybe church singing and instrumentation and so on, you will hear the key of a song is on key A, key B, and so on. What it means is that when I say the key of a song is on key G, what it means is that, assuming it's on the treble stave, this key G, it means that this second line here will be the do of that song, will be the root of that song. For instrumentalists that plays instruments, you know that when they say your key is on key G, you know that on your instrument you are going to play that G as your do. You understand me? So the same thing applies to music here. That means this your line G is your line do. So that means do. Then from that do, you now move to re, mi, space line. Don't forget space line. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, as the case may be. You understand me? So if the song is on key G, so the treble stave will have its own do here, while the bass stave has its own lower do here and upper do here. I hope you understand that. A song is on, assuming you want to sing a song or want to compose a song on the music stave, and they say the song is on key G. It's either you have the do here, so you have for the bass stave you have your do here because this line G, so that will be your do, and there is another do. That means the lower do, this is an upper do. Another do here, there's upper do. For the treble stave, you have this your line to be your lower do, and then on the space here above F will be your upper do for the treble stave. It applies to all other keys too. Assuming you have a song you want to sing on key C, you see that this is the do for the bass stave, and then the middle C here is the upper do for bass stave. Now the lower do for the treble stave is also this middle C, and then the upper do is this third space. So that's the essence of the alphabets, so that you can know where to place your note at any point in time. You know, I was trying to sing the other time, this is the day, and so on. That is how you now understand the placement of those notes and why, I mean, how you place it, and then we make somebody to understand what you're trying to explain to, so let's do a little bit of practical on this music stave. Let's see. Okay, yes, we have our notes still here. Let me just put the brace. Don't forget that I call this the brace. Let's just work with the treble stave for now. The treble staves for now. These are treble stave. Now I want to sing a song. This is the day. That's our song, and I want to sing the song on key F major. Let me just say key F. We are still going to get to key signature. That's when we understand how key signature works. Key F, key G, and so on. We're still going to get there. But for now, let's just assume this song is on key F major. There are symbols that we used to depict what key the song is, but let's leave those details for now and look at this. Now, this is the day. We want to look at that. Now, I said the song is going to be on key F, right? So the first thing I need to do, number one, what stave is this? Looking at this, I know that this stave is automatically a treble stave. This stave is automatically a treble stave. Looking at this symbol that I have here. So now, and I was told that the song is on key F. So it means that I will ask myself, where is my key F on this stave? Now, this is my first line. You know, the first line of treble stave is line E. That means this first space here will be my line F. So this space will be my do. This space here, this line will be my re. This space will be my mi. This line will be my fa. This space will be my saw. This line will be my la. This space will be my T. And this line will be my do, my upper do. Do you understand? Yes, I'm just writing this for you to be able to follow me in the placement of those notes. Now, I want to sing this is the day. The note is half one, half one, two. So I need the half note. That's a quaver, a half note here. So this is my do. You know, the song is do 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 re mi. You understand me? So for what I'm going to do is that I'm going to come here. I need do, and my do is the quaver. So I'll come here and put a note here. Please, when you are working on your stave, make sure that if you are putting your note on the space, let it be on the space. Don't put it in between space and line. Don't let it start touching the line and will confuse the person reading it. It has to be on the space, and if it's going to be on the line, it has to be on the line, directly on the line. You understand me? So now half one, so I need another do, but this time a crochet. So do do, then I need my re. This is my re, do re. This is my re, and it's going to be a quaver too. Can you see? I'm putting it on the line, not outside the line, on the line, so that anybody seeing it will know that this is actually on the line. You understand? So do do re, then mi. I have mi here. So now I'm done with my scoring. Do do re mi, do do re mi. Can we see that? Do do re mi, one half one two. You understand me? If I want to continue this song, do do re mi is twice. This is the day. This is the day is twice. If I want to continue that the Lord has made, so I will just come here. That is mi fa mi re re. That's mi fa mi re. And what do we have? Half one mi fa mi re re. You understand me? Mi fa mi. It's not mi fa mi re re. It's mi fa mi re re. Half one. So let's assume this is twice already. Do re mi, although you have to write it twice because of space. So now mi fa mi re re. So where's my mi now? This is my space mi. This is my do. This is my line. This is my space do. Don't forget we are on F. We are trying to write this column on F. This is my do re mi. So my quarter note, my quaver note will be here, shaded. Mi. Then this is my mi. Then I need the fa. This is my fa. This do re mi fa. Can you see? It's also a quaver note. Mi fa. Then mi now. Now mi is crochet. Mi is one note. Mi, sorry. Mi. Now re is also quaver. It's also crochet. One. So you have it on the line here. And then the second re. And then the line. Can you see? So anybody seeing this will know, okay, if this is on F, although there's a symbol we use to note that this song is on key F, which we call the key signature. We are still going to get there, but for now let's just look at this. So this is do re mi, half one, two. Do you understand me? Then twice, then half one, mi fa mi re re. Do you understand it now? So from this, my F is do re mi fa so la ti do. Line space. Please don't forget that principle of lines and space. Do you understand? Okay. Now, what if this song is actually What if this song is actually on, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to erase the line that, I mean, what I've just done before. So what if this song is actually on another key? Let's try another key. Don't forget we are working on the treble stave. You know, the treble stave is the melody, the treble is the melody of the song. Other part is just the harmony. So that's why we're working on the treble. But if we want to work on the full part, yes, we are going to get there. We are going to work on the full part, the treble, alto, tenor, and bass. Okay, this is the 5 lines. Okay. So if we have this, okay. Now if we have this, and then we assume that this song is actually on maybe key A. Key A. So that means I will say this, if this is my treble stave, I have my treble stave here. You understand me? And this song is on key A. That means E, F, G, A. That means this point is my A. That means this point is going to be my Do. Don't forget, please. This point is going to be my Do. Now, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti. Then we have a short line here that will be my Do. We call it ledger line. Those are the lines that extend the notes, either upward or downward. We are still going to get there. The ledger line. So I want to have notes outside the stave. The ledger line will help me to continue my principle of lines and space. So space, then small line, space, small line, space, small line, and so on. You can go as low as or as high as possible. You understand me? So if it's A, that means this is my E, F, G, A. That means this is my Do. Then this is my Re, Mi, then Fa, and so on. So and so on. So if I want to write this is that day, that means it will be half 1, then half then 1 then Do half 1, that's do shade, this was shaded. Then Re is half also shaded. Then Mi is 1, 2, not shaded. I hope you understand that now. We will still have more of this practical training on how to understand your notes and how to apply it. I'm happy because at this point we are already scoring music notes, even though we still have a long way to go, but we have already started scoring. There's no big deal. Those are some of the things you need to know, except for some extra things you need to just understand in music. But those are the major things you need to know: your stave, your music note, the alphabet of the stave, where to place it, and so on. Those are the major things. So with that understanding on your own, I want you to, before even the next class, before you even jump to the next class, I want you on your own to see how you can work on a song yourself. Give yourself a key, pick your biro and pen, draw your 5 lines and 4 spaces, put your treble clef there, then decide I want to sing a song, praising the Lord, so me, or any song, and then try and see if you can work out the notation, the timing of the notation. If you can get the timing, the beat, if you can get the note itself, and then you can place it well on the stave here, then I can assure you that we will still have a good time on the group chat, or you can just send me a personal message for other clarification. You can just send your own personal homework to me and let me help you mark or correct you as the case may be. So I want to thank you for your time. I want to thank you for still being here. I believe you are being imparted gradually on how to read your music notes, on how to interpret music notes. And I want to believe that at the end of this class, all of us here can be able to say boldly that yes, I can actually handle any music note I have, or I can interpret it or write it out myself. I want to let you know that you have to practice it. You have to practice it. It's not going to just come like that. For you to understand the lines and space, for you to understand movement from one line, from the first line to the third line to the second space and so on, you have to do a lot of practice. So please and please, just continue doing a lot of practice. You can go online and just go and look for, just type on Google music sheets of songs. You will see different sheets. You can bring out one and see if you can relate all we have been saying. Oh, this is crochet, oh, this meaning, and so on. If you can relate, if possible, print it out and have it with you and see what you can do with them. See how you can interpret some of those things that are written there. And I want to assure you that at the end, writing or reading music notes will just be a walkover thing for you. I want to thank you for your time. I hope to see you in the next class that we're going to be having next after now. That's class 4. Thank you very much. God bless you.